Hi, second grade. It's Miss B. I wanted to go over the word study lesson and assignments for Monday, April 6th. So, unless you've been told otherwise, what you're going to do is first you're going to watch this brain pop video on contractions. You'll see it's only a minute and 55 seconds, so it's less than 2 minutes long, but it is a very good lesson. If you remember, we've talked about contractions throughout the year, and it's just the shortened form of two words that's written as one word. So we take two words and combine it to make one word. And when we do that, we add an apostrophe, which takes the place of some missing letters. And so um, you guys will watch this video and pay careful attention to the end because it clears up maybe some confusion that you have. And I'll talk more about this when I show you your word study assignment. But we also use an apostrophe when showing possession. And so we'll add an apostrophe S to a noun to show that that noun owns something, is in possession of something. And so be sure not to get confused when you see an apostrophe in a contraction. And then you'll also see an apostrophe when you show possession. So pay careful attention to that at the end of the video. After you've watched the video, you're going to go to your assignment, which will be posted in a separate link on Google Classroom. And so hopefully you're familiar with this setup. We've had a couple of word study assignments using Google Slides, and you're clicking and dragging things. And so hopefully you've got the hang of it by now. If for some reason you're struggling, always know that you can dojo your teacher or chat with them on GoGuardian. So just a reminder for this assignment, it's a Google presentation, or Google slide presentation. So in this case, you do not want to put it in present mode. You want to leave it just like this, how I have it. And so the first slide is just what is a contraction? And so you've got two columns here. The first one is what is a contraction? And the second column, why do we use a contraction? And so there are a couple of options down here. The first option is to make words shorter. The second option is a word shortened by combining two words. And the last one, it says uses an apostrophe to replace letters. So you guys are going to take this and drag them to the appropriate column based on where it should go. You've only got 3 here, so that shouldn't take you too long. After that, you'll go to the second slide. And so you've got 2 columns here, and hopefully by now, if you've been paying attention in your math lessons, you know that columns are up and down and rows are side to side. So you've got 2 columns, these blue columns right here. And in each of the sections, there is a word or 2 words. And so what you're going to do is you're going to look over here. So you've got 2 words. And remember, a contraction is 1 word that replaces 2 words. And so you'll drag over here the contraction that matches. So we'll go ahead and do this one together. So this is it'll. And so we're going to look through here, and if we use it'll in a sentence, we could also replace it with the 2 words it will. So if I used it will and it'll in a sentence, it's interchangeable. Both will work. So make sure, I always say if you're unsure, use the word in a sentence. And if it doesn't make sense, then it's probably not right. After that, after you've dragged and matched all of the contractions with the 2 words, you'll come over to this last slide, and this was what I was talking about just a minute ago when I told you to pay careful attention to the end of the brain pop lesson. So it talks about sometimes when we use an apostrophe to show possession. So just because you see an apostrophe in a word doesn't mean it's a contraction. And so here you've got 6 sentences, and in each sentence, you'll see there is a word underlined that has an apostrophe. And so what you've got to do is read the sentences and decide, is this word replacing 2 words? If so, then it's a contraction. So you would move it here to this column. If it is an apostrophe S that is added to the end of a noun that is showing possession of something, that that noun owns something, then it is not a contraction. So let's look at this example here. That is Kelly's car. You see that Kelly's has an apostrophe S, but it is not a contraction. We did not use that apostrophe S to combine 2 different words. It is showing that something belongs to Kelly. The car belongs to Kelly. So it is showing possession. So you guys are going to read these sentences and decide if the word that is underlined is a contraction or not a contraction. And in this case, it would be a noun that is showing possession. And then that is it for your word study today. If you need help with anything, be sure to contact your teacher. And you will not have another word assignment until Wednesday. Tomorrow, you will have a writing assignment. So happy learning, and we'll be in touch.